Good morning, everybody. I'm John McDonough. It is 56 degrees outside. It's going to be a beautiful day. We got a beautiful show coming up for you. I got to do the national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs were singing out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonia, special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom, and legends to the hero who fought along the Diablo.
Glory will rise and never to fall. Hearing a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Good morning, everyone. Cliff Krieger here. It's Friday, so Jim Peters, our co-host. Jim's running for school committee here in Lowell and had a party last night. How'd your party go, Jim?
Party was fantastic.
Good.
As you wouldn't believe the people who were there.
Right next to Jim is Ty Chum, who is running for city council. The people responsible for this mistake.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, and then we have Fru and Kim Bangs with us, and Fru is actually bringing a guest. And the guest is going to be Professor Martin I.M., and he's well, I guess we ought to start by saying that there's secession in Cameroon because of the oppression of the Francophone government, and they've created their own new nation, Ambazonia, and Professor I.M. is the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs of the interim government of the British Southern Cameroons. And he's going to call in any second now. So,
So the French have abandoned Cameroon? British Cameroon?
Oh, the French will never abandon. We'll have to kick them out.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right.
Well, give us the the quick wrap-up for the Anglophone Cameroon.
Cliff, John, Jim, Guy, and the people, the great people of Lowell, I want to take this opportunity once again to say that Lowell is my city, and Lowell has stood beside me to support the people of Ambazonia. My heart really goes out to the people of Ambazonia on the ground who are being slaughtered, children slaughtered every day. We have a president whose intention is to eliminate the people of Ambazonia. And I think the City Life show has given me a wonderful opportunity to carry this message to the world and appeal to the world community not to stand on the side. Once upon a time in 1994, it happened in Rwanda, and we stood on the sidelines. And I believe at the end of that, almost 1 million people were slaughtered, and President Clinton said never again. And the international community today is paying a deaf ear to the genocide that's going on in Cameroon. The president of Cameroon came on the air 2 days ago because he anticipates coming to the UN, and he was talking to the international community and to his people in French. Well, the people of Ambazonia, English speaking, did not understand what he was saying because intentionally he wasn't addressing the people of Ambazonia. Last year there was an election, and you all know that he did not campaign in the English Cameroon because he knows that that's not his own territory, and there was no election in the English Cameroon. So why would the international community and people call him the president of Ambazonia when we did not vote in this country? Election is to elect a leader, but the people of French Cameroon voted for him, and he did not even dare come to English Cameroon to campaign. What does that tell you? That these are two countries. I'm appealing to the international community to stand up, and I will also tell the people on the ground that they should hold on. This fight is a God-ordained fight, and when we believe in God, He will really lead us through like the children of Israel.
Okie doke, thanks for.
Hang on 1 second now. I wanted to look at the camera with the tripod. Give us your best smile for President Trump this morning. And we're good. Thank you. Now go on. Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah, so my respect to the people in Cameroon, especially when you say about the people that killed there, it's sad because my people go through the same thing. The genocide should never ever be happened to any country, anybody's. Never experienced that. So I hope y'all achieve what you want to achieve. And the history will make you stronger. So yeah, it's just touching. I hope everything is going the way you guys want it to go.
Well, the professor is a seasoned professor and politician.
When Cliff's ready, why don't you call him back? I'll get him right on when Cliff's ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Are we going to have a separate mic for the professor?
Yes, I'm going to use this one.
Excellent.
What time is it in Cameroon?
It's 11:10 now.
In the morning?
When that's
In the morning.
In the morning, okay.
But the professor's in Louisiana,
Yeah,
right?
the professor is calling in from Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Prof?
I
Will
sent
you call now,
information
please?
for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, all right, just hold on. Hello? Yes, you are being heard now, so you are live.
Okay, so I don't need to call back?
No.
Welcome to the show, Professor.
Whatever you say.
So why don't you give us a quick introduction? You're a professor of what?
Okay, I am Professor Martin Ayim. I'm a professor at Grambling State University here in Louisiana, and I've served the people of British Southern Cameroon as head of the Department of Foreign Affairs, and silence for the departed, please, if you don't mind it. For those of us, those are people, our heroes on the ground zero, and those who are refugees internally displaced, and the families that are bereaved, please let us observe 30 seconds or a minute of silence, please. I'd like to honor them.
As you wish.
Please. To God be glory. May the souls rest in peace. Thank you, sir.
So, could you, Mr. Secretary, explain to the audience what is that the British Southern Cameroonians, the Ambazonians want? What are you looking for?
Good. In order to get to that answer, I want to give you a background about what happened to today. Just a little bit of background so you understand my answer. Just let you know that both La République du Cameroun and the British Southern Cameroun and Ambazonia were UN trust territories, category B in the UN system, and that La République had their independence January 1, 1960. And the Southern Cameroons had their independence, the independence was voted and protected for October 1, 1961. So we are talking about two different entities here. Applicable UN articles and resolutions, UN Article 76B that had to prepare all UN trust territories for independence, and the UN General Assembly Resolution 1514 of December 14, 1960, and the UN General Assembly Resolution Post-Plebiscite Resolution 1608, paragraph 15 of April 21, 1961, and in which the United Nations General Assembly had voted for the independence of the British Southern Cameroons with a vote of 64 yes, 23 no, and 10 abstentions. So we are talking about two different entities here. So what do we want? We want the recognition of our country. We want the recognition of our country. UN has voted for its independence as per the resolutions and articles I've cited. So we want recognition of our country. That's what we want.
Professor, do you need a white paper for that?
Yes? Okay. And I want you to know that there is no union treaty between La République du Cameroun and the Southern Cameroon. There is nothing uniting us. So anything that has been like union is a facade, illegal union. Because if we had a treaty of union, it would be deposited with the UN Secretary General, Secretariat, as per UN Article 102, paragraph 1. So we're talking about marriage without a marriage certificate here.
Is there a chance that the British Cameroon can actually get together with and form a federal government with the Francophone Cameroon?
Why? Why would you doing that when the UN system says your former UN trust territories need to be prepared or will be prepared for independence? What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay.
So we are asking for our own international personality.
Okay. So, are the Anglophone Cameroonians up for this fight? It's going to take a while, I think.
No, it's not going to take a while if the international community, if the UN and the international community have their hands in the right place to address and to implement the very articles and resolutions that they use in the decolonization of all the former trust territories. It's not going to take a while, it can take a minute. It can take a minute if the UN and if the world say, yes, let's do the right thing. Let's tackle the root cause of the problem. Let's implement the and the resolutions that we have been able to all other UN trust territories.
Are you going to have to form a revolution in order to do this?
We are already in it. We declared the restoration of our independence in 2017, and the UN had already voted. And why do we really have to go through all this if the UN and the international community see the truth in what we are saying?
Okay.
We have internationally defined boundaries. Why is another UN trust territory defining the future of another UN trust territory? Where is the UN?
I think there is a video. There's a video that John will show, which is speech by the former Under Secretary of the U.S. to Africa. That John will show, which will actually support what he's saying about what the professor is saying. John, if you are ready, you can just play that video before we get back to the interview with the professor.
All right, we just get it framed up, we should be good to go here. Gonna change the frame. I'm gonna hit play. And here you go.
For a leader who's been in power longer than the majority of his citizens have been alive. Hank Cohen is former U.S. Ambassador to Gambia and Senegal. He's also served as the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs. Ambassador Cohen, welcome back to our program.
Thank you.
We saw this Anglophone crisis. Why that part of Cameroon instead of, or more so, than the Francophone area of Cameroon?
Well, the English-speaking part of Cameroon is in deep trouble because there's a great deal of discrimination against those people by the majority who are French-speaking. They're getting very little of the wealth or very little of the business investment and that sort of thing, so they are very angry. Secondly, when they voted under the United Nations to join the French-speaking Cameroon, they came in as a federal independent state, and they had their own legislator and their own chief of state, and they only shared the currency and the foreign policy and the defense. In 1972, the federal government had a referendum to unite, and of course this was illegal because this minority never wanted to be united totally with the rest of Cameroon, so they were just smothered and taken into Cameroon. They're very angry about it. They're fighting guerrillas from the English-speaking part of Cameroon, and you cannot defeat them because they have unlimited support from across the border by Nigerians. I'm not saying the Nigerian government is helping them. The Nigerian ethnic groups are giving them unlimited arms, unlimited money, so they have to get into a negotiation.
And then some are concerned that Biya is Cameroon's absentee president. He's in power for so long. Why so long?
Well, his ethnic group represents about 10% of the population. They control the military, they control the security, so they've been in power strictly by rigging elections.
What's the impact been on the younger generation?
Well, they need economic expansion, and because of these two wars going on, Cameroon's not getting in much investment. Cameroonians are not investing money, so the opportunities for these younger people to get jobs, to get education, is just not there. So it's become a very dangerous situation.
What can the international society do under this, the institutional design that has been in place in this country for so long?
Well, internationally, for the western part of the country, with the English-speaking people, they need to have pressure to negotiate a new arrangement where they can return to the federal system that existed before 1972.
Okay, so the video is over. I understand. Oh, go ahead, Professor.
No, I'm fine. I said okay. I'm waiting for you.
I understand the French speaking President Paul Biya had an address 3 days ago and he introduced what he thought the solution was. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yes, a lot of thoughts. He did not introduce a solution. Let me point out that Biya's speech, I wish he had not made it, or he will be wishing he had not made it. He recognized the Southern Cameroon's problem for the first time, from what I heard, and but it was an empty speech related to the solution. And the national dialogue he's talking about, to me, that is applicable for internal issues, internal problems. He didn't really propose a solution as per the international nature of our conflict. So this is an international problem. The root causes are international, voted by the UN articles of resolution. So the solution should be international. So the Swiss-led international mediation is the right way to go. And now let me just read a quote by Biya himself some times ago about dialogue. I'll read it in French and I'll translate it for you. He said, Vouloir dialoguer et définir soi-même les modalités du dialogue, c'est refuser le dialogue, c'est vouloir imposer sa volonté. That is for me, which means wanting to dialogue and then defining by yourself what the dialogue should be and defining the modality of that dialogue is refusing to dialogue and is imposing your own will on the issue. So he himself cancels what he's saying, what he's talking about national dialogue. We don't refuse dialogue, but the national dialogue in this case is not a solution to this Southern Cameroon's Republic conflict.
Can I chip in, Professor?
Yes, sir.
What the professor is really saying is the truth, because the president addressed the country and he has been talking about bilingualism. But if you have to address the people, you address them in the language that they understand. The president addressed nation in French. Means he was addressing the French Cameroon, not the English Cameroon. And he also made that address primarily because he knows that the UN is meeting next week. He called on talks to start at the end of this month, which he is already placating the international community not to discuss this at the UN. That is why he made that speech, because right now on the world news they are saying that the president has advanced a proposal for dialogue, but he doesn't want to involve the Ambazonia. There are two states that are involved here. You have the French Cameroon and the English-speaking Cameroon. And the only meaningful talk will be with the international community as a mediator and out of the country and involving both parties.
So I'd like to go back into history just a little bit. So the English-speaking Cameroon gained independence in 1961. And then you have your Declaration of Independence on the 1st of October of 2017, so we're almost 2 years. So are you fighting to restore the independence of 1961, or are you fighting to liberate yourself from the oppressive Francophone Cameroonian government?
What I said earlier, giving you the backdrop, is the British Southern Cameroon had independence October 1, 1961. As per the UN General Assembly post-plebiscite resolution 1608, paragraph 15, we had the independence already. We are not going back to the UN to ask for independence. We are not asking for independence from Cameroon, like Republic of Cameroon, because they are not capable of doing that. We had restored the independence that was given to the British Southern Cameroon by
said? Or,
Yes.
okay, so you think that, what about, are there divisions within the Anglophone community that are going to prevent you from moving forward?
There is one thing we must get out of here, that all the groups in the British South Cameroun and Ambazonia, we have one goal, and that goal is the recognition of our country. So we may have different approaches, and of course groups have the right to have different approaches, but the interim government led by Sako is leading the way for the goal to be attained that we get to Goya. So all the groups, everybody was saying the same language, was saying the same thing, we are focusing on the same thing. Well, we can always come together.
What is the United States response to this?
Oh, okay. You know, the Swiss-led mediation was approved by the United States, by the UN itself, the European Union, Canada, Germany, the Commonwealth. The process that they approved and recommended should be completed.
Okay.
This facade of the national dialogue is a way we are trying to circumvent what the international community has recommended. The Swiss-led mediation will solve the problem because we will be on the table and we will talk face to face with the mediator there. What is Biya running from?
Can we talk about schools for a second? I understand there was a boycott of schools, a lockdown of schools in southern Cameroon from August to September. What was going on? What was the rationale? And what's your government position?
Right. The rationale is we love our children enough. We love a good education for our children. And we want their safety to be the first thing. So the environment is not safe for our children because of the atrocities committed by the Republic to Cameroon soldiers. They have burnt schools down and people are in bushes, children are in bushes. When those come back, where did they go to? Which school did they get? So we, the interim government led by Sako, had applied for requested from the UN and UNESCO that we have a curriculum. We have a global curriculum ready that the UN and UNESCO, they should assure safety of our children because they can do it in 1 minute. They can do it. You know, send peacekeeping forces and ask the Republic soldiers to withdraw to their own boundaries as independence, and we will implement this curriculum the following day. We have it ready to go. We are not against education. We are protecting our children and making sure they have a world-class education in a good environment, in a secure environment. Why would the army, if they are so confident what they're doing, why would they be guarding schools or guarding environments and guarding children going to school with guns? The school with guns? There is something wrong, we need to solve. So it's not on us, it's the safety of our children. We are working and fighting for our children. And we love them a lot. So let the UN and UNESCO step in and help us implement the new curriculum that we have.
Okay, Professor,
And before he goes, tell him the picture we have of him, he looks marvelous.
yes, the producer wanted to pat himself on the back by saying the picture he has up on the screen makes you look marvelous. So, but do you have any last thoughts you'd like to give us before we move on to our other topics for the morning?
What's your question, sir?
Yeah, we're moving on to our other topics for the morning. Do you have any concluding thoughts?
Oh, okay. Yes.
So only a negotiated or mediated settlement is going to resolve the problem. This lame dog attempt at forcing a false union and continue the false narrative that the issue is merely an internal issue really indicates the ineptitude of Biya. It is time for the international community to complete the Swiss-led process. The United Nations, the European Union, the United States of America, Canada, and all those who came out and supported the process must now give heed to those words. A national dialogue is dead on arrival in view of the interim government of the British Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. Thank you.
Professor, I want to thank you very much for dialing in and giving us your insights. I'm hoping that we'll be hearing from you again as we move forward in this topic.
Yeah, thank you for the interest in our struggle and the zeal to know the truth. We trust that you are going to take this to all reporters you know, and to the U.S. government itself, and every way to let them do the easy thing, which is to tackle the root causes by finishing with the Swiss-led process. Thank you very much, John, and God bless you. And God bless
Thank you.
City TV.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Okay, so you need to turn the phone off. The phone, your phone.
Oh, my phone. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, John and City Life Show and Greg. And on behalf of the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia, I take this opportunity to say thank you, City Life Show, for bringing the plight of our people to the world now. It's getting to 2 years. There is no platform as dedicated to the cause of the Ambazonian like city of Lowell and City Life Show, and just to tell our international audience and everyone and that the city of Lowell is a sister city with Bamenda. Bamenda is the economic capital of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia, and the city of Lowell voted unanimously, the only city to condemn the atrocity that's going on in Cameroon. And I don't even have words to express the gratitude of the people of Ambazonia to the people of Lowell and to this platform. Thank you so very much.
So we're going to change topics for just a second here. We'll think about the Democratic debate from last night. Did anybody get to see the Democratic candidates? John, did you pick a winner, John?
No, I think it was. I'm confident that Paul Belay put it well. He called it an S show because they were beating up each other pretty good. I think the network decided going in, they were only going to let Bernie, Elizabeth, and Joe, thank you, grab the airtime. I was sitting there with my favorite sister-in-law watching it, and she doesn't like politics, and so this one woman, she's talking, she says, who's this gal talking? I don't even know who the woman was, and she's running for president. They didn't put the names up big, they left the name small. By what I mean big, you can see everybody's name, who's on the screen there. When we're looking at the professor earlier, okay, his name's actually too small to see. It's way down the bottom here. That's his name. And their names were, I would say, a third of that size. So production of the show was not, I didn't know who was who. I was disappointed at ABC's coverage of the thing because they didn't put the graphics, people's names under them when they were talking. I was disappointed with that.
Were you listening when Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the saint of South Bend, pointed out that people like you and I are racist.
Well, what's her name? Because
And then explained that the reason we are is because we don't know any immigrants. We don't know any.
Am I an immigrant? Is that what you're saying?
No.
It's very
I know you, so you cannot be an immigrant, neither you nor Ty.
most of the country does not have the luxury the world has. Yesterday at down Cape Cod, having a funeral at the Bourne National Cemetery, beautiful place. And one of the funeral homes from Hyannis pulls up. And I was there a little early. And what they do is the cemetery, they give you a time that, okay, be here at a certain time, we'll have your service. So I got there half an hour early, and there was a funeral ahead of me. 100% white people. There were probably 30 cars in the funeral procession because it was a close-by funeral home. And every car was white people. There were no Asians, there were no blacks, there were no Hispanics, it was all white people. And so I can see where Buttigieg's point is, people don't know who immigrants are because Lowell has a luxury that few do.
Let's see. Remember when we had the mass killings in El Paso and Dayton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was also a mass killing that weekend in Garden Grove in Orange County, California. And what was that? That was a Hispanic doing the mass killing. He killed 4 people and injured several others. So
What did you say? Did I misunderstand you? Did you say that was Hispanic doing the mass killing?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, mass killing, if you go out and you kill more than 4 people, or 4 or more people, that's a mass killing in the United States. So in El Paso they used a gun, in Dayton they used a gun, in Garden Grove he used an edged weapon. It's not clear to me if he used a knife or a machete.
Who was the killer?
I don't know.
Oh, because I didn't know. You said that was Hispanic doing the mass killing. That's where I'm confused.
Well, apparently he was identified by the press as being Hispanic, so it's not really too confusing because he was identified by the press as being Hispanic. It wasn't. Cliff didn't come around and say, "Oh, this guy's Hispanic because he's."
Oh, okay. I just wanted clarification.
It wasn't Cliff. It was the press covering the killing, right?
They didn't cover it. Covered it with a blanket so we couldn't see it. You didn't know about it, did you?
I heard about it.
Oh, you heard about it. Speaking of innocent people, Ty, how long are you staying?
Until 7.
You're leaving at 7, Fru's leaving at 7. That's good.
That is good.
Yes.
So, Fru, are you running for anything?
No, I'm not running for anything, but I serve Lowell in all capacities, as volunteering my time to help those who are running, and maybe sometimes in the future. But right now, I am doing everything to.
Who are you backing?
I'm backing all the candidates, and you have to listen to everybody, and you can only. I personally, the person that I back is the person that I vote for, and it is my relationship between me and that person based on what I feel that he does for the city.
Okay, I have a bone to pick with the city council, so Ty's the victim. Wednesday we had the mayor on, and we talked about transportation infrastructure. This county's going to grow almost 250,000 people in the next 25 to 40 years. And New Hampshire's going to grow in people too. But I don't see any plan to get ahead of the problem. We're going to have to widen Route 3 again. We're going to have to widen 495. We need to make 3 bigger, we need 495 bigger, and we need another bridge across the Merrimack. And I don't see anybody providing leadership in this area.
Gotcha.
You got any thoughts on this?
I say just do it. Let's just throw something at City Hall and just say, hey, we want to make it go forward. Let's put something on papers. From a business mindset, if you're just saying it's not going to happen, let's put something on paper. Say, hey, I want the walk bridge to be fixed X, Y, and Z. How could we do it? And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people step up and support that. It's about making a commitment to people. Right?
But you're equally talking about the road, road 3 and 495 that could be expanded, but I think technology should probably be thought of in that respect, because when you expand the road, the population is growing. Road 3 was 2 lane. They expand it. It's still jammed. And as you mentioned, the population is growing.
Yes.
If you continue to expand the population, expanding, how will you continue to expand the road? At some point, there will be no room for expansion. So we should think creatively and come up with technology that could enhance transportation of people to the city and not just expanding the roads.
Okay, what kind of technology? You got anything in mind?
Well, I don't have anything in mind, but I'm pricking the minds of those who are looking forward down the line to be able to start thinking in that light, not just expanding the roads, because as you are expanding the land is limited, the population is growing. How long can you continue to expand the road? We should think critically and use our imagination and bring out solutions.
Well, our producer is presently out on the street narrowing the road. In preparation for a funeral. But if he was here, he would tell us that self-driving cars will solve this problem.
Yeah, I just want to say appreciation to you lifting that up, the natural resource. The environment is very important. When you say that, that just touched deep in me. That's something we need to keep intact, because this is something that we want to pass on to the next generation.
That's right.
Right? And so yeah, just appreciation for you saying that.
Okay, thank you. And I also support that, Jim, because like I said earlier, the natural resources are limited, but we are not limited in our imagination.
We can destroy a lot of the natural resources.
Yes, so I think we should really get to the drawing board and think critically. America is one of the admired countries in the world because we are not static. They always come with solutions. Mm-hmm. So I think if the great minds should think of for what to do, because there is always a solution as far as the American mind wants to do it.
I think so too.
Who was it? Bernie Sanders was saying that he wants to limit population. Are you in favor of taking that natural resource known as human beings and reducing that?
No.
I mean, Bernie was talking about making abortion more available in Africa to limit population growth, because Africa is the biggest growing continent.
Okay, but I don't agree with Bernie on
But I think issues in that, why should it point to Africa? Why should Africa be a land of experiment and trying to limit? But if someone is saying that and saying that they should limit, is Africa considered to be a threat to the Western world, or why should that be population explosion all over? And
that's a good question, Pro.
I can't justify Senator Sanders' position, but Africa is the fastest growing continent, right?
Africa is the fastest growing nation, and also Africa is the nation that has the youngest youth. All the other nations have old. So, I mean, the world will rely more on the younger generation than coming up with a program to eliminate the younger continent.
I'm with you. We've run out of time, so Prue, give us the quick wrap up for the Anglophone Cameroon, and then Ty will give us his elevator speech on why we should vote for him. Fru, you're first.
Cliff, John, Jim, Guy, and the people, the great people of Lowell, I want to take this opportunity once again to say that Lowell is my city and Lowell has stood beside me to support the people of Ambazonia. My heart really goes out to the people of Ambazonia on the ground who are being slaughtered, children slaughtered every day. We have a president whose intention is to eliminate the people of Ambazonia. And I think the City Life show has given me a wonderful opportunity to carry this message to the world and appeal to the world community not to stand on the side. Once upon a time in 1994, it happened in Rwanda, and we stood on the sidelines. And I believe at the end of that, almost 1 million people were slaughtered, and President Clinton said, never again. And the international community today is paying a deaf ear to the genocide that's going on in Cameroon. The President of Cameroon came on the air 2 days ago because he anticipates coming to the UN. And he was talking to the international community and to his people in French. Well, the people of Ambazonia, English speaking, did not understand what he was saying because intentionally he wasn't addressing the people of Ambazonia. Last year there was an election, and you all know that he did not campaign in the English Cameroon because he knows that that's not his own territory. And there was no election in the English Cameroon. So why would the international community and people call him the president of Ambazonia when we did not vote in this country? Election is to elect a leader, but the people of French Cameroon voted for him, and he did not even dare come to English Cameroon to campaign. What does that tell you? That these are two countries. I'm appealing to the international community to stand up, and I will also tell the people on the ground that they should hold on. This fight is a God-ordained fight, and when we believe in God, He will really lead us through like the children of Israel.
Okie doke, thanks, Fru.
Hang on 1 second now. I want to look at the camera with the tripod. Give us your best smile for President Trump this morning. And we're good. Thank you. Now go on. Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah. So my respect to the people in Cameroon, especially when you say about the kids and when you say about the people that killed there, it's sad because my people go through the same thing. The genocide should never ever be happened to any country or anybody's. Never experienced that. So I hope y'all achieve what you want to achieve. And the history will make you stronger. So yeah, it's just touching. I hope everything is going the way you guys want it to go.
All right. Thank you very much, Ty and Fru. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And I think we're ready to go to the break.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonia, pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom, and let the soul the hero who called the Lord we gather.
Glory will rise and never to fall. Hearing a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you We